Let's start with the module 1. What is business intelligence? Business intelligence basically is a set of techniques, is a set of tools which helps us to solve business related problems using the data. Okay, using business related data, when you want to solve some problems, when you want to get some answers related to your business or like whatever difficulty you are getting in your business, so using that historical data, when you want to get some answers, that process basically we can say it is a business intelligence. Business intelligence is not a tool, right? It's just a technology. Okay, it is same as like ERP, enterprise resource planning, and in ERP we have multiple tools. Okay, we just try to explain you here. So in ERP, enterprise resource planning, we have SAP. This is one ERP. We have Microsoft Nav. We have Microsoft AX. We have Business Central. Right. There are other ERPs also in the market, and the one very basic ERP is Tally. Also, Tally is also a ERP. In the same way, like when I say CRM, there are multiple CRM softwares in the market, like Salesforce. Maybe you have heard the name of this, and there's Dynamics Microsoft CRM, right? So when I say BI, so in the same way, BI is not a tool. It's just a technology. It's just a technology which helps you to solve your business related problems using the business data. So in BI, there are multiple tools in this domain also. So like Power BI, Tableau, multiple tools also in this list, right? But these two are the like competitors or the market leaders, Power BI and Tableau. Okay. So basically now you should not understand like BI is a tool. No, BI is a technology and Power BI is a tool, right? So using Power BI, we can solve our data related problems. We can ask the answers. We can ask the questions on our business data, right? Now, second thing, SSBI. SSBI is almost same as to the BI, but the thing is in BI, what we do, how we work. Let's say as a user, I have some requirement, right? For example, I want to see total orders, total sales orders, and shipped orders, and the outstanding orders, right? So I want to see such a basic report in this simply in the tabular format. Okay, so this is my requirement. Now what I'll do, this requirement I have to share with a developer, with IT team, or maybe with okay, so I'll share my requirement with them. They will understand that, they will prepare some costing and all. There are a lot of things will happen between this. Okay, so this is a way like when you can share your requirement, when a business user can share your requirement with IT team, right? This is a normal process like which we do for not only for BI, for other tools and other technologies also. Fine. Now, when you work in this way, like in the managed BI, right? When managed BI is like something when you share your requirement with other team, with other person, and they have to understand your requirement. Based on that, they have to estimate the efforts. Then they will give you a costing, right? So it's a managed BI. Every time you cannot go to the user or you cannot go to the developer, okay, because it's there are a lot of limitations, there are a lot of disadvantage of it, like time. It will take a lot of time, costing, high cost, and dependency on other team, and lack of requirement, because whatever you know as a business user, when you will transfer your requirement to the developer, then obviously there will be some gaps. Okay, so this is the managed BI basically. When what is SSBI then? SSBI is a way where business user can prepare their reports by themselves, right? So self-service stands for, SSBI stands for self-service business intelligence, right? Self-service business intelligence. So as the name suggests you that it is a self-service BI. It means a business user can develop their report in Power BI without having much technical knowledge or without having much depth knowledge of BI tool, right? So this SSBI is basically supported by most of the BI tools. Like Power BI is also a SSBI tool. It works as a SSBI tool. It means business users can also use Power BI even if they are not from the technical background, if they are not from any programming background. even then they can use the Power BI for building their reports, for building their dashboards, their data sets, data models, right? So this is the basic thing like which we need to understand, like what is BI, what is SSBI, okay? Although when you have some advanced requirement, when you want to build some complex report where a lot of queries, a lot of like data handling and data modeling is required, then no problem. In at that time, you can go to the some other team or maybe some developers. Okay, it depends organization to organization. It depends on like team to team. Okay, why I'm explaining this SSBI concept? Because when we say like what is Power BI, right? The very basic question, what is the Power BI? So many people say that it is a BI tool. Many people will say like it is a visualization tool. Power BI is basically a reporting or a BI tool with having advanced data analytical capabilities, right? Advanced data analytical capabilities includes a lot of things. So as of now, Power BI, very first, it's a Microsoft tool, and Microsoft launched it somewhere in October 2015, right? I'm just giving you a history about the Power BI. And Microsoft release new updates of Power BI every month, right? New updates. So it means every month you need to update your Power BI desktop. Okay. When I'm saying Power BI desktop, what is it? Power BI components. When I'm saying Power BI components, what are the different tools? What are the different components which comes under this list? The first is Power BI desktop. I'm sure that most of you are already aware with this. Next, we have Power BI service. Then we have Power BI data gateway. We have Power BI report server, Power BI mobile app, Power BI Excel publisher, and Power BI embedded. Okay. Here, one thing also we can add, Power BI report builder, right? So when I say we are going to learn Power BI, then it doesn't mean like we are going to learn only one tool. We will learn multiple things. Although it is one tool, but the architecture, but the different components of Power BI are Power BI desktop, Power BI service, Power BI data gateway, Power BI report server, mobile app, Power BI Excel publisher, Power BI report builder, and Power BI embedded, right? So these are the all tools which you can use for building your reports, data models, paginated reports, on-premises reports, right? Let's have a quick look of all these tools, right? What is the purpose of these tools? What we can do with all these, okay? So the very first is Power BI Desktop. Why do we use Power BI Desktop? Power BI Desktop is a standalone tool. It's a standalone software which you can install in your machine, and you use it for developing the data model and reports. Using the Power BI Desktop, what you do, you can develop the data model, and when I say like developing the data model, then we have to perform the ETL operations. What is ETL? It's completely new topic for you, so let me note it down here. We'll come to this ETL part. So you can develop the data model using the ETL operations, and you can develop reports in Power BI Desktop. Okay, so this is the role, or this is the purpose of Power BI Desktop. Now we goes to Power BI Service. The role of Power BI Service is it's a cloud web interface which you use for interacting your reports and to develop the dashboards and for sharing reports and dashboard sharing and admin control and mobile dashboards and design, right? There are also some other functionalities, some other things which you can do using the Power BI service. Okay, so this is the purpose of Power BI service. So Power BI service is not a tool, it's a cloud web interface. It means it's a SaaS application. So what is SaaS? So for Power BI service, you don't need to install anything. What you need, only you need a browser and you need the Power BI service credentials. Okay, fine. Now Power BI service, we use for interacting the reports, like for viewing the reports, for filtering the data in the reports. We can develop the dashboards also on Power BI service. We can share reports and dashboard with our colleagues, within our organization or outside our organization, depends. We can manage all the admin activities. We can develop the mobile dashboards, and there are some other also things like a subscription, email subscription. You can set the alerts. You can ask questions. There are a lot of things which you can do on Power BI service. Okay. Power BI Data Gateway. What is the purpose of Data Gateway? So once you deploy your report on the Power BI service, then you need to refresh data in your reports. Okay. For example, today I developed a report. I deployed it on the Power BI service. Now this report will be showing the data of till yesterday. Okay. But next day, I want to see the updated data in the report. Right. So how you can enable the auto refresh in your report? Manual refresh also you can do, but which is not possible, right? Every day you cannot manually refresh it. So what you can do, you can enable the scheduled data refresh using the data gateway, right? So it helps you to enable scheduled data refresh in data sets, reports, and dashboards, right? So this is the purpose of data gateway. Now, what is the role of Power BI report server? It's an alternate of Power BI service. It's an alternate option of Power BI service, or I can say it's a substitute of Power BI service. Okay. It means whatever you do here, everything you can do here, everything you cannot do here, but yes, most of the things you can do. Like, first of all, it is also a web interface. It's a web portal, but it's a on-premises. It's an on-prem web interface. It's not hosted on the cloud. It is hosted within your organization, within your domain, within the intranet, not on the internet. Okay. So this one you can use to interact with reports, right? And you can use it for admin activities. So these are the basic things which you can do using the Power BI report server. In Power BI report server, you cannot develop the dashboards, right? So dashboards is a feature of cloud Power BI only. It is not feature of on-premises Power BI. So on Power BI report server, we can call it also on-premises Power BI, right? And this is Power BI service is a cloud Power BI. It's a cloud version. All right. Now the next is mobile app. So mobile app we use for interacting the reports and dashboards for sharing purpose. Next is Power BI Excel Publisher. You can integrate Excel and Power BI. It means you can leverage your Excel reports or your Excel visualizations or your Excel data to integrate or to add in Power BI reports or in Power BI dashboards. Okay, because Excel is a very powerful and the most commonly used tool by all the users. Okay, so next tool is Power BI Report Builder. Power BI Report Builder basically we use to develop paginated reports. When I say paginated reports, what does it mean? What are the paginated reports? Paginated reports are basically pixel perfect reports. When I say pixel perfect report means, like, for example, your invoices, your receipts, or delivery notes, right? So such kind of reports we can say are pixel perfect or a paginated reports, because in these reports the template, the format would be always fixed. Okay, so if you want to design or if you want to develop such kind of things, then you can use another tool which is Power BI Report Builder. We use it especially for developing the paginated reports, where we need to fix that on page 1 number of like 30 records should be appear, on page 2 again 30 rows should be appeared, right? So something where you want to fix the template, where you want to fix the format of your report, right? So for example, like invoices. In your invoices, there is a fixed format. It is not going to change like for any customer or for any region or for any specific filter or for any specific data. The format of your invoice would be always same. Content within the invoice may change. Like sometime the customer name is this, or maybe you can print another invoice with for another customer. Okay. So these are the things which we need to just understand, like what are the use or what are the purpose of these. Okay. Because before we understand, before we start learning or working on these, we should have a broad idea in our mind that what are the tools we have, what are the tools we are going to learn, and what are the purpose of different tools. When we deploy our report on the Power BI service, then the next question would be like how the data would refresh in our reports or in our dashboards. So now, if you have listened all these things, if you have seen all these components and the purpose of these components, then you would have a basic idea in your mind. Yes, there was some tool that was the data gateway, which helps us to enable the scheduled data refresh, right? All right, so now we have just a basic overview of all the components. There is one more, which is Power BI Embedded. Let's see this one also. Power BI Embedded basically enables to do the integration of Power BI reports and dashboards in other tools. What I said, integration of Power BI reports in other tools. When I say in other tools, like if you want to integrate a Power BI report in SharePoint, in CRM, in any ERP tool, or in, let's say, in any website, or in any blog, or in any mobile app, right? So there may be multiple things where you can integrate your reports or your dashboards in other tools, in other applications. Okay, so it's not tool, it's applications. For doing this integration, you need a programmatical knowledge. Like either if you know about C#, Java, Python, right? Or there are other tools, other languages also through which you can do this integration. And how does this integration works? Using the APIs. Means you can call Power BI API through any programming language. What is API? Application Programming Interface. So it's just a way, it's just a medium which you can use to extract or to integrate the Power BI features inside the other applications, like all these, using C#, Java, Python, or any other programming language. Okay. All right. So I see some questions in the list. But data interaction is possible on report server. Yes, data interaction is possible on report server. You can see here I have written interact reports, right? Data interaction we can do through the reports on report server, right? It means if you develop your report in Power BI desktop, right? Because Power BI desktop is purely a development tool. After developing your report in Power BI desktop, now you have choice whether you can deploy it on the Power BI service or you can deploy it on the Power BI report server. Okay, but it depends on company to company, because some organizations are not using the Power BI report server. Okay, they are using the Power BI service only, because Power BI service provides you a lot of features and functionalities in comparison to Power BI report server. Power BI report server is having some limitations, but the point is, if Power BI report server is having some limitations, then why it is available in the market? Why Microsoft is giving this option as a substitute of Power BI service? Why? So the answer is, some organizations don't want to put their data or their reports on the cloud because of security concern. For example, some financial institutes, government companies, agencies, and some banking institutions, right? So such kind of organizations don't want to put their data or reports on the cloud service because of the security concern. So what they want to put all their information within their domain only, within their intranet, okay, within their premises only. They don't want to go on the cloud. They want to be in their premises. So in that scenario, companies can use Power BI report server. Okay, but when you start using the Power BI report server, then you have some limitations also. Like first thing is, it is not a cloud service. It means you will not be able to access it from anywhere. When you are connected with your organization's internet, where you are in your company's domain, only then you will be able to access the reports. Although using the VPN, you can access it, but you cannot access it without VPN directly from anywhere. You cannot create the dashboards because there is no concept of dashboard in Power BI report server. Dashboard is available only in the Power BI service. Okay. And apart from this, there are some other features also which does not exist in Power BI report server in on-premises Power BI. Fine. Is it clear? Can the embedded report or dashboard gets refreshed as the scheduled gateway refreshed datasets? Yes, we can do that also. It means we have to call gateway APIs also through the programming approach, right? So the data will be automatically refreshed here also, right? So these are the different tools or different services which we will be using or which we will be learning. Okay, so now here I mentioned ETL, right? What is ETL? So ETL is extract, transform, and load. It's not a one thing. These are the three things, right? E stands for extract, T stands for transform, and L stands for load. So I see one question here. Does report server requires gateway? A very good question. So when you want to schedule the data refresh, when you want to automatically refresh the data in the on-premises reports, then what you need to do, right? In that situation, you cannot use the Power BI data gateway. Why? Because data gateway you can use only for the Power BI service. Means if you want to refresh the report which is in the Power BI service, then you can use the Power BI data gateway. But what about those reports which you have deployed in Power BI report server in on-premises Power BI? For refreshing the data in these reports which you have in the report server, you need to use its internal data refresh, right? So here it's SQL agent basically behind the scene you will use SQL agent jobs. Okay, so for refreshing the data in this Power BI report server, you will have to use SQL server agent jobs, not Power BI gateway. Okay, but it was a good question. Okay, so next. Okay, so we are here for ETL. Okay, so what is ETL? So ETL is basically extract, transform, and load. So it is very easy to explain by just seeing the full form of it. Let me explain it through an example. So for example, you have some data in SAP, right? Okay, so currently, what is the data source in your company, guys? Because for that also, for that only, I'll be taking the examples. What is the major source of the data in your company? Okay, Excel, XML, Workday, SQL. Okay, fine. And is there any ERP or any CRM system? Okay, but they're not part of this batch. Okay, we don't have. Okay, that's not an issue. I'm just asking because I'll take such kind of examples. Okay, Workday. All right. Okay, no worries. So let me remove SAP from here. For example, if your data is in Excel, right, then what you will do first, you will extract the data from Excel. From Excel, you will extract the data first, right? It means you will pull all the data from Excel. After that, you need to transform that. What does it mean, transform? Like in Excel, you may be having some data where you have the null values, you have the blank values. Okay, so you need to handle such kind of scenarios. Or let's suppose in your Excel data you have two columns. Okay, for example, you have a customer first name and customer last name. So what you want to make another column by concatenating these two values. Okay, so what you'll do, you will have to create another column. Okay, so this is also part of transformation. So basically, when you transform your data, when you manipulate your data. That step we call it as a transformation. It could be like cleaning of your data, aggregation of your data, grouping of your data, handling the null values, blank values, changing the data types of your data, right? It could have like anything. So this is transform, right? Once your data is transformed, and you can say now your data is ready for the use, is your data is ready for reporting purpose. Okay, then finally you load this data somewhere in storage, right? In any storage you have to load it. In our case we use Power BI internal storage, right? But in some other technologies like in data warehouses, we load this data in some other database. In that database we can say a data warehouse. Okay, we are not going to that side, the data warehousing side. So all these things we can also do in Power BI. It means in Power BI we can extract the data from Excel. Power BI we can transform the data, and we can load the data in Power BI the storage model after compressing the data also. Okay, this is the important thing. Power BI can compress the data. Let's say you have some data in your, for example, in any table. Okay, so for example you have some invoices table. Okay, so in that table basically you have, let's say, 250 MB of data in this table, and when you extract this data in Power BI, then Power BI will compress this data based on its internal algorithms. Okay, and the size would be around like 10 to 20 MB only, right? So it depends on the nature of your data and on the source. Okay, but somewhere it will shrink, it will just compress your data, right, within just 20 MB only. Okay, all right. So it means Power BI can also store your data within its internal storage model. Okay, so it doesn't mean like Power BI can only create a report, it can store the data also. Like in Excel, there are some other components like Excel Power Pivot, Power Query, right? So in Excel also you can store the data, and Power Pivot also you can load the data, right? So in the same way you can do that into the Power BI also. Why Power BI can do all these things? Because the in the behind the back end of Power BI, Microsoft is using all the features, all the Excel add-in components, right? Like Power Query, Power View, Power Pivot, Power Map. All these were the like very old tools of Microsoft, which people were using as an add-in in the Excel, right? So what Microsoft did, Microsoft just consolidating the features of all different tools and added some advanced analytical things, and they made a tool which is Power BI. Okay, Power BI is almost like 60% you can relate with Excel or its plugin. Okay, you will see like almost even the button names, button positions are also same in Excel, as you see, right? In Excel you can see here, if you go to in data tab, in data tab you can see that the filter, advanced, cleaning the data, removing the duplicates, grouping, ungrouping, refreshing it, getting the data from any different sources, right? So if what you see here, in the same way basically you can do all these things in Power BI, and even the placement of the buttons, name of the buttons is also same for most of the things, right? So it means people can relate Power BI with Excel easily. That's why Power BI is much easier for business users to develop their reports. Why? Because they can relate it with Excel, and Excel is a tool like which is like in use by every people. Okay, in comparison to Tableau, it's Power BI, or its comparison to another BI tools, Power BI is much user friendly. Why? Because you can relate it with Excel. Okay, I can see one question: is Power BI service used for transformation, or it can be done in any other component? So for transformation, data transformation you do in Power BI desktop, right? But in Power BI service also, Microsoft added the functionality that you can extract the data, you can transform the data, and you can load the data, right? So it means this ETL capability is also available now in Power BI service, but it's not up to that level as what you can do in Power BI desktop, right? But there's no doubt like Power BI service can also be used as a self-service BI or a self-service ETL tool. It means users can also transform their data. Users can also extract their data based on their need using the Power BI service. Okay. All right. Power BI Desktop is a free tool. You don't need to pay anything for it. It's just go to internet, download it and install it and start using it. But Power BI service comes with three type of licenses. What are these three type of licenses? One is free license, second is pro, and third is premium. Means Power BI free, Power BI Pro, and Power BI Premium. Now, what are the differences between them? Free is having very limited functionalities, and even it is not recommended for using it for production purpose. Okay, Power BI free you can use as an individual user or for your learning and for POC purpose only. Okay, it can be used for individual user. As an individual user, you can use it. Pro is having all the features which you can access into the free version. Additionally, plus you can use some advanced features, right? What kind of the advanced features? Like sharing or bulk sharing or data refresh or email subscriptions or data alerts, workspaces management, and there are many things. In Power BI Premium, you can do more advanced things. Means what you can do in Pro, that is included, plus you can do more advanced things. More advanced features you can use. What are the more advanced features? Like AI capabilities, artificial intelligence capabilities, ML machine learning capabilities, and some additional things are like you can use it for enterprise usage, or I can say for large user base. Means if there are like 2,000 people, 5,000 people in organization and all wants to use the Power BI, then they can use the Power BI Premium. Now point comes that what are the costing for these? What is the price? So for free, obviously it is free. So price is $0. You don't need to pay anything. It's free, but limited usage, limited functionalities. Okay, and you can use it as an individual user. You cannot share anything with your team, with any of the person. Next comes Power BI Pro. So the Pro license cost you $10 per user per month. $10 per user per month. And the Power BI Premium costs you $5,000 and it's per node. Power BI Premium license doesn't come user wise, it comes node wise. It means you will get a node. On one node you can deploy around like somewhere around 2,000 users. Okay, if you have like 5,000 users, then you have to buy another node of Power BI Premium. Okay, so Power BI Premium is a dedicated server, okay, which you will be handling and you can use it for large user base. Okay, Power BI Pro is a user base license. It means if you have 10 users, then you have to purchase 10 licenses from Microsoft and then assign those 10 licenses to those 10 people. Okay, but it's something like when you have 5,000 people, then you don't need to purchase 5,000 license from Microsoft. It would be very expensive for you. Okay, so what you can do, you can purchase a dedicated server. Okay, and that will comes with a per node. Okay, so it is $5,000 per node and it's per year. No, it's not per year, it's per month. Very expensive one. Okay, so it means if you purchase the basic node, even a base node for it, then it will cost you, annual cost would be somewhere $60,000 for you. Yes, it is expensive one, but it comes with some advanced features and for the large user base where like around thousands of users are going to use Power BI. Okay, so this thing should be clear that Power BI desktop is completely free. Okay. Power BI service is also free, but with individual use and with limited features. We mentioned here limited features. And Power BI service comes with Pro and with Premium also, right? So you can have any license to access Power BI service.
Mike, Munad here. Quick question.
Yeah.
You say limited features. What covers under that? You can elaborate on that.
The main one is you can't share, right? You can't share. It means features you see here in the Power BI Pro, sharing is not possible in Power BI Free. It means if I create a report and I'm a free user, I cannot share with anybody. I cannot do the bulk sharing. For example, if I'm the manager, I created my report like a regional sales report, then I cannot share that report with my team. I cannot enable data refresh. I cannot use email subscription, data alerts, workspaces I cannot create, right? And there are some other things also which you cannot do in a free user.
Okay, but I can develop dashboards and interact with reports and invite others to participate in developing the report.
No, you cannot invite others. When you
But
say
I
like
can-
invite, when you say invite, it means you are sharing,
Okay.
and sharing is not allowed in free. It is completely for individual use. I can create, I can deploy, and only I can see.
I can also
And
develop
with limited.
dashboards, right?
Yes, you can develop, but with limited features.
Okay.
Yeah, many organizations I saw some organizations like they are using the free, right? Free license, but they cannot use the advanced things. They cannot use the sharing. For example, if in my organization there are like in sales team, let's say if there are like 20 people, and if they want to deploy and they want to create their report, then what they have to do, either they have to deploy, either they all 20 people have to develop the report, the same report, or what you can do, let's say I develop the report using the Power BI desktop, and then that PBIX file, the Power BI desktop file, I can share with another users. Okay, but it's not a good approach. Why? Because if I created a report, then maybe once I share the solution with you, then you can make the change here. You can do any kind of like manipulation in the report, in the formula. Okay. But it depends on your need. It depends on the requirement. Although as a free user, you can use the Power BI desktop. Okay. And you can publish your report on the Power BI service as a free user. If you want to share, then instead of sharing the report from the Power BI service, you can share the Power BI desktop file. So in this way also you can do. All right. Another question I can see here for on-premises also. See, on-premises is not free. Okay. In case of on-premises, there is not anything of free. It's completely chargeable. Right. And what is the charge of that? We'll come to that point also. So Power BI server on-premises Power BI is never free. It is always paid. There is no case of the free. And even for Power BI service also, in Power BI service also, it is free right now, yes, no doubt, but it's just a strategy of Microsoft to become a leader, to become on the number one position in market. Once it will be in the one position, they will stop this free license. Then what will happen? Everyone will have to move on to the pro or premium at least. Okay. So that's why Microsoft says that free you can use as an individual user, but it is not recommended to use for production purpose or for your company projects purpose. Why? Because free is free. Anytime can happen anything with it. Earlier, sharing was possible in the free also, right? But when Microsoft saw that most of the people are using the free only and using free only, they can doing their activities, they can fulfilling their reporting requirement. So what they did, they simply disabled the sharing feature in free. And those users who are those organizations, like those people who are using the free as a main license for the for their organization, in very hurry burry, all reports they have to migrate, they have to publish, they have to bought the Power BI Pro license, and they started migrating everything on Pro. When people started coming, because one of my client was using the free, So when people started complaining about the to the Microsoft, like why you are removing the sharing from free, why you are removing this thing from the free, we are using it in our company. Then Microsoft just took the screenshot, which is already mentioned in their website. Then we already informed to every user, we have already mentioned in our website that free is not for production purpose. So we cannot do anything. You have to migrate your everything into the pro. Okay, so that's why free is no doubt free, but it can be dangerous also. Okay, so it's your decision which we use, right? Although Power BI Pro is $10 user per month only, but if you go for a bulk purchase, like if you want to purchase 50 license or 100 license, right, then you can negotiate on it with Microsoft, and yes, Microsoft negotiate somewhere like around some discounts can also give to you. Okay, anyways, this is all over to the licensing thing. Now I can see another question. Can I save report in PDF and share in free version? Yes, you can export. You can export the report in PDF and in Excel also. You can export the data in Excel also. Okay, and yes, in free you can do that. Okay, so now SSAS is software as a service. It means it is hosted once, and after that people can reuse it. It is a cloud-based service. You don't need to manage it. Everything would be managed by the cloud service provider only. Okay, all right. Okay, so now let's move back here. So now we understood that what is business intelligence. There are different components of business intelligence. Like in business intelligence, first we need to identify the source of data. After identifying the source of data, we need to work on it. We need to extract that. If required, we need to clean that. After cleaning that, if we want, we can like share that data set with other people, and they can also collaborate in that. For example, if I am not aware with any different department, like if I'm going to build a report with a combination of sales and finance data, then I can do my data from data transformation, which is related to the sales. But if something is like related to finance, then I can share that solution file with the finance team, and they can also integrate there. They can also collaborate into that solution. Okay. Self-service, we have already understood that. What is self-service? So self-service BI is basically something like which end users or business users can also use without having too much technical details. Okay, so this next comes to the Power BI project role. So it depends project to project or organization to organization, but the standard is like in one project, multiple people can be involved, like program manager, data architect, technical architect, or BI developer, right? But in some scenarios where Power BI we use as a self-service BI, then all these roles may not be there. Okay, all right.